Hello everyone, this is Chang at the Pacific Asia Travel Association, the Department of Sustainability and Social Responsibility. PATA is a proud signatory of the Global Tourism Plastics Initiative, or GTPI in short, led by the UN Environment Programme and the World Tourism Organization in collaboration with the Ellen MacArthur Foundation. Tourism, as one of the hardest hit economic sectors by the COVID-19 crisis, must strengthen resilience and awaken a sense of unity and interconnectedness among tourism stakeholders. This crisis has highlighted both the fragility of the natural environment and the need to protect it, as well as the intersections of tourism economics, society, and the environment like nothing before in history. It represents an opportunity to accelerate sustainable consumption and production patterns and build back better tourism. The objectives of the Global Tourism Plastics Initiative support the shift towards a circularity of plastics. GTPI seeks to reduce marine litter and plastic pollution, preserve the attractiveness of destinations, and trigger multi-stakeholder precompetitive collaboration on topics such as waste management at destination level, which in turn can have a positive effect on health and therefore support a responsible recovery. Today, Pata spoke to Virginia Fernandez-Trapa, the Program Officer at the Sustainable Development of Tourism Department of the UNWTO, and also the coordinator of the Global Tourism Plastic Initiative, to understand why it is now more important than ever to proactively tackle the plastic issue in tourism. What are the aims of the GTPI, and how will GTPI support the tourism industry to succeed?
Hello, Virginia. Thank you so much for your time today. We are very excited to have you with Pada. So to get us started and for the benefits of our audience, would you mind introducing a bit about yourself and the work you are doing so that our audience can know a bit more about you?
Of course. Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I'd like to thank Pata for the invitation to discuss today. It's very exciting to participate in this series of interviews. My name is Virginia Fernandez-Trapa, and I'm a program officer at the Sustainable Development of Tourism Department in the World Tourism Organization. I'm also the coordinator of the Global Tourism Plastics Initiative. We will be learning a bit more about this initiative today.
Thank you so much, Virginia, for the short and sweet introduction. So with the COVID-19 going on, tourism is actually one of the hardest hit economic sectors. And the international tourism has been shut down at a global scale. So why is it important to care about plastic reduction in the tourism industry for the recovery post-COVID-19?
Well, the tourism sector had registered continuous growth for the last 10 years, as we all know, creating employment and opportunities which are actually nowadays at stake. At the same time, however, such growth represented important challenges related to the carrying capacity of destinations, to the consumption of natural resources, as well as impacts on climate change. So, for us, a responsible recovery should place all these issues at the center, as the resilience of tourism will depend on the sector's ability to balance the needs of people, planet, and prosperity. We've seen that the tourism sector's initial response to the pandemic is placing a strong focus on public health and hygiene, which are crucial to restart operations, generating confidence and trust. Nevertheless, it is also essential that hygiene protocols integrate sustainability principles as much as possible. This is to prevent changes in processes which could have harmful effects on the environment without measurable gains with regards to health. We see that in many occasions, new measures have not been considered in the context of their environmental impact, such as additional waste generated or water consumed, chemicals used, and due to the incorrect disposal and waste management of some products, plastic products such as gloves, masks, and hand sanitizer bottles are already being found in the natural environment of major tourism destinations. We all know that a healthy environment is directly connected with the competitiveness of the tourism sector, and it is the basis upon which tourism activity needs to be rebuilt. Therefore, the reduction of plastics plays an important role for the responsible recovery of tourism, and it supports the transition to a more sustainable tourism model.
Thank you so much, Virginia, for sharing with us your insights on that. We have seen the COVID-19 has disrupted the waste management system everywhere worldwide. So, however, like during the time of the crisis, it's very likely that many destinations and tourism businesses will deprioritize the environmental concerns. So what needs to be communicated and coordinated among various supply chain actors to actually reinforce the plastic reduction practices in the tourism industry, in your opinion?
Well, the pandemic has indeed made it more complex to use plastic sustainably in many destinations and tourism businesses. But the crisis has also raised awareness of the importance of local supply chains and the need to rethink how goods and services are produced and consumed. These are key elements of a circular economy. We actually think that addressing plastic waste and pollution can be a catalyzer of circularity in tourism. And therefore, despite the challenges, it represents an opportunity to embrace a sustainable growth pathway. What we advocate for is not a plastic-free movement, but rather a shift towards a circularity of plastics in tourism, where plastic never becomes waste. It is a systemic approach to plastic pollution where we eliminate, innovate, and circulate. Eliminate all problematic and unnecessary plastic items. Innovate to ensure that all other plastics are reusable, recyclable, or compostable. And circulate to keep plastic in the economy and out of the environment. Supporting the integration of circular economy processes in tourism can actually promote innovation, the creation of new business models, and added value for customers and local economic development. In fact, circular principles support credible alternative solutions to single-use products. For example, when thinking of reusability, it can, in many cases, increase the traceability and the control of hygiene and sanitation by tourism companies, while at the same time ensuring that tourism operates within the local recycling capacities of destinations. The problem of plastic pollution is just too big for any organization to fix on its own. So to match the scale of the problem, changes need to take place across the whole value chain. Everyone has actually a role to play.
Thank you so much, Virginia. So we know that not all tourism businesses and properties will have the capacity and resources to meet the cleaning and disinfection standards, so that the use of plastic, especially single-use plastic, seems to be a safer and more economically viable option to many. Then how can they bridge this gap and move forward a circular solution for plastics? And how can the Global Tourism Plastics Initiative support tourism businesses?
I think it is important to understand that single-use plastic items and packaging are not sanitization measures in themselves. I mean, the virus can survive on these surfaces, and therefore single-use plastics can represent touch points where indirect contagion could occur. Let's think that these single-use plastics could have been contaminated during their production, transport, or handling. With this in mind, continuing to carefully remove unnecessary plastic packaging and items during COVID-19 recovery can contribute to reduce those touch points where indirect contagion could occur. For example, making only the necessary plastic items available or accessible to the guests will reduce touch points, and at the same time, it will avoid unnecessary cleaning and disinfection operational procedures while limiting plastic waste creation. We have to be mindful that single-use plastic items and packaging should be sanitized before they are used by guests and clients. In this sense, I mean, with the integration of cleaning and sanitization protocols being absolutely necessary, opting for reusable plastic products appears as a logical investment for stakeholders, since the integration of cleaning and sanitization protocols is already there. In fact, reuse models allow stakeholders to directly ensure the application of sound hygiene and sanitization procedures. So they are even gaining greater control over such processes and even providing better quality of services to their clients. What we're trying to do with the Global Tourism Plastics Initiative, which is led by the United Nations Environment Programme, the World Tourism Organization, and the Ellen MacArthur Foundation, is to provide a common vision for the tourism sector to address the root causes of plastic pollution. With the initiative, we want to enable businesses and governments to take concerted action for the shift towards a circularity in the use of plastics. Therefore, by committing to the Global Tourism Plastics Initiative, companies, governments, and other relevant actors of the tourism sector are stepping forward as global leaders working on solutions that address the root causes of plastic waste and pollution. Signatories commit to specific targets, and they have to specify dates for the targets to be achieved. Signatories need to report annually on how the targets were achieved. So this initiative goes beyond the pledge, and signatories are expected to lead by example and create awareness. At the same time, the initiative aims at supporting companies, destinations, associations, and NGOs to implement the common vision through sharing information about actions and solutions to address the plastic pollution challenge, fostering sustainable procurement practices and collaboration with suppliers, promoting collaboration at destination level to improve waste management, and consolidating and disseminating the progress reported by all signatories to enhance transparency. And I mean, all in all, basically, we would like to showcase the leadership of the sector. So we truly look forward to welcoming the members of PATA as signatories to the Global Tourism Plastics Initiative.